Hi everyone, it's Katy from the yoga studio, Bikram Yoga Temecula, SweatNGlow Temecula, the hot yoga studio in Temecula, and man, it's been a while. I've been missing you like crazy, and looking back, it's been 3.5 years since we closed the doors during COVID. I wanted to reconnect and take a minute to tell you a little bit about that, a little bit about the past, mostly about what's going on now and what's going on in the future, and hoping we can reconnect. So, wow, that was a really difficult time. It was COVID. I remember, we were operating online, and then we got to reopen, and then we had to close again. And we had, of course, taken grants, like everybody else. And I had budgeted a certain amount of time we could get by, and then there was just no telling when we could open again. And we had to make the decision to close the doors. It was really, really hard. I have missed you all so much. I've heard from many of you, and it's been wonderful. It absolutely broke my heart to see the studio close, but mostly to see the community come to an end. That was my dream from the beginning, was to create a community. And man, did we ever, and we had 8 great years, and I'm forever grateful for all that I've learned in every way, the yoga, the relationships, the challenge of owning a business and running a studio, and all I learned in, the practice and in teaching and training staff, marketing, business. Wow, the list goes on. It was fantastic. So I've never had a single regret. It's just been a wonderful experience, except that when it came to an end, I didn't see you all anymore. And I think of you often. So I hope you're all doing well. I know you maybe are not living in the area anymore. And I'd love to know where you are and what you're doing. Many of you have reached out, and that's been great. So I wanted to tell you just a little bit about kind of where I've been since. So when we made that decision to close the studio, and it was just a terribly difficult situation, I realized how tightly I had held on to the community, because I felt very responsible for everybody's health and wellness. We had a studio that was open 7 days a week, and people were committed to going most of the time, at least 3 times a week, for their health and wellness. And it kept our health really in prime form, as you remember, and maybe you're still doing it. And that's great too. So it was very hard for me, and I felt very responsible, to the point that I realized after a while, like maybe after a year or so, I was probably more committed to that than I was to even my own life, my own health. Of course, I was very committed as a mom. And what I didn't realize was there were things in my life that were suffering that I really didn't want to see. One of them, unfortunately, was I ended up getting a divorce, and something I probably should have seen, but I didn't see it coming. And I look back and I think, all of this played a part in a story, of life. And it all gave me the opportunity to grow and to learn. Not to say it was easy. It's been very hard, a lot of change. I'm sure you had change too. So, in the last couple of years, again, I've had a divorce. I've had my mom passed away. My 2 kids moved on. I became an empty nester. And, I was working a job in education. Again, I used to be a math teacher, and I went back to being an educator. I was actually working in that job the last year of the studio so I could make things stay afloat. So a lot of opportunity to learn, and I am one to dive into learning. In fact, many years ago, I was listening to one of my favorite teachers who's passed away, but his name is Thich Nhat Hanh. He's a Vietnamese Buddhist monk, very, very peaceful man. He's developed many meditation centers, and you've maybe heard of him. He's just amazing story, and an author of many inspirational books. And he was giving a talk to a bunch of CEOs for business. And that's why I was watching him, like, oh, what can I learn for my business? And he was working on a whiteboard and developing this really intricate scheme of how to manage. And he drew like 3 different areas of circles. And he started off here, and this is your work. And he said, you can work here and you can learn to manage really well. He said, but then you come back here and there's family. And if you're not managing family well, you're not going to be the best manager of your work, because it's always going to be nagging at you like there's something going on at home or with your loved ones. And then he had another set of circles in a different spot. He said, but you got to come back here and this is you. And if you don't manage yourself well, or let's just say you do manage yourself well, then you're probably going to manage your family relationships well and work. So the best managers learn how to manage first their self, then their family, and then their business in that order. So if we start to look at a business situation, we can fix it. We can work on that, right? We can create a procedure or a system. But if we don't look at the business owner, that person from the inside, it might keep happening in their life, right? Different places. So I want to share something with you. So at that moment, I had this idea, like one day, like I'd love to do training where everything was from the inside out. Like everything we taught was from the inside out. Being a lifetime educator and a trainer, I just started dreaming about it, kind of like I dreamt about the studio, 20 years ago. So about 2 years ago, I came up with a logo, and I drew this whole concept out. And then a year ago, last summer, I began to be asked to help different businesses with trainings. And I said, why not? I'll start helping, right? And I use this whole system, to create trainings. And then I've also gone on to train in a school district for family engagement. And I've created workshops and trainings. And everything I do is from the inside out. So it's been super exciting. I wanted to share with you, if I can, on this recording. I'm going to click on whiteboards here. I have a whiteboard. I'm kind of squinting because I probably should put my glasses on, but just for a second. Let's open this up. I hope this works, because I recorded once and it didn't. Let's see. There we go. Stay with me. It'll only be a few more minutes, I promise. Okay, so my company that I'm launching is called Inside Door. And if you see my inside door, it's a D with a little I inside, and that's the doorknob. And the doorknob, if I was to zoom in, it would look like this, right? So again, like we want to take my trainings, or like my philosophy is to start on the inside. So that door on the inside, and then open up doors moving out. So if you start with yourself, then you can improve family relationships and then work situations, right? Again, I do come in and I've helped some businesses with procedures and things and systems, like kind of like we had at the studio, because it worked really well. Yet I see the ones that really work the best are the business owners and the staff that really want to work on themselves. And so if we're open to that, we can really make a lot of change. And it's really exciting, the ripple effect that it has. So, okay, I'm gonna, I hope this takes me back. I'm gonna close this actually, yeah, and come back here. So anyway, I'm pretty excited about it. And just even like yoga, and meditation, it starts from you, right? Inside out, but it affects everything you do. I'm sure you remember when you were practicing a lot, or even if you had one class, hopefully it was a good class, and you felt really good after, and you had energy, and then you felt like you were talking to people, and you just like, you could think clearer, all that stuff starts to change. So yoga is a great example. So what I'm working on now are trainings for improvement, for basically from the inside out. And I have worked with small businesses in the area, and I have worked with individuals. So I'm putting together both in-person and online trainings, classes, and even something called a mastermind, which is a collective group that wants to improve together. And I'm going to be sending out a survey, and I'd love it if you would respond and let me know what you're interested in, what you're doing. Or just reach out if you want to just email me back from this email here, or, keep in touch. I'd love for you to jump on one of our social media sites. I'm on Facebook Inside Door, LinkedIn Inside Door, Instagram. I think it's under my name, Katy Olin 1. Katy Olin is my name, 1. And all of that you can get from this email. But anyway, I'll be sending you a survey because I'd love to hear what's going on. Maybe how I could serve you, maybe what you're looking for. Are you looking for, some new things now? And I'll tell you about one more thing before I jump off here. I am launching a new program just for moms, because I know so many of us are moms, whether you have adult kids or younger kids, or maybe some friends of yours could benefit from this. And this is a mom's mindset mastermind, and there'll also be a course. And we're looking again at how to work with our own mindset, but have that impact our kids. So it's actually called Own Your Journey, Inspire Theirs. If you're like me, you wanted to figure it all out and tell them everything, but you're worried, it's nerve-wracking. We have one shot, right? We want to tell them everything we know, and it just doesn't work like that, right? So I have learned so much, and I can honestly say I have the best relationship with my two kids I've ever had in all of our years in the last 2 years. So I'll tell you, sometimes you feel like you're going through the hardest time of your life, but it can open doors if you're willing to become the best person that you can be. So I would love to connect with you if you are willing. I hope you're doing well. I would love to know how you're doing. So please do respond. Again, I'm going to send you a survey. I would appreciate it if you'd give me some information. And if you hear about something I'm doing and maybe it's not something you're interested, maybe you know somebody that is, please pass it on. This is my inspiration and really what I know I'm meant to do. I get really excited when I talk about these ideas, and the trainings I've done have been really exciting. I've had some really exceptional results and from people, and I'll share about that another time, but thank you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for letting me back into your life for a few minutes and listening to this video. I hope we can connect again, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.